Good day, viewers. Welcome to Breakfast News on AYOGEN TV. I am Charles Olowe Oluwafemi. Here are the news headline for today. On our local news this morning, Ondo traditional rulers beg government for potable water. On our political story, 2023 merit should be determined. Nigerian next president, not Sony, says PDP chieftains. Still on political news, Bello tags Kogi APC to sustain party's winning streak. On our business story, NARTO no paying PTD suspend planned industrial action. On our foreign story, U.S. Congress temporarily avoid government shutdown. On our sports story, Okoye dilemma of keeper battling double relegation. And finally, on our entertainment news headline, Gajabia Miller to Baba Iniedo star in political documentary movie. Here are the news in detail. Welcome back. Here are the news in detail. Ondo traditional ruler begged government for potable water. The monarch of Ijodo Odo community in Okutupa local government area of Ondo State, Oba Festus Olumoyegun, and some other traditional chiefs from the neighboring community have appealed to the government at all levels to provide potable water in their communities. The traditional ruler pointed out that lack of adequate water and sanitation were also major causes of other diseases such as typhoid and cholera, hence the need for stakeholders to assist the community in the area of access to potable water. Oba Olumoyegun and the traditional chiefs and the made call on Thursday at the official launch of borehole project for primary health care center and public schools at Ojudu, Ondo, and Ilu Tutun Asoro local governments. The borehole were donated to the communities by a non-governmental organization, HACEY Health Initiative. The project was cited at the 5 primary schools and 5 primary healthcare centers in the affected community. The monarch, who was represented by the Onigbo of Monogbe town, Chief Omonde Adebayo, lamented that the communities fetched their water for drinking and domestic use from the stream, describing the development as unsafe. The cost of sachet water in this community rises from 10 naira to 20 naira, and most of our people cannot afford the sachet of water at that price. We are always worried about what the situation may lead to. The primary health care center at AR and most part of our community has been suffering, but thank God for the intervention, because this will pave way for our people to come here and get potable water. The government has been doing well, but the key stakeholders across different sectors should increase investment in water, sanitation, and hygiene for women and children, especially those in rural and underserved community. At this, I believe this will go a long way in achieving a healthy and productive society. No doubt Iju Odo has potable water challenge. Most of our people do go to stream to fetch water, but with this, we can smile a bit, and I want to assure the NGO that we will keep proper use of this project. I am appealing to all sons and daughters of this community to fast-track this kind of project. In his remark, the executive director of the initiative, Rhoda Robinson, said the initiative was aimed at improving access to safe water for communities, health workers, and pregnant women. Represented by the program manager of the organization, Chioma Osakwe, the director said the Clean Water Initiative came after it had been discovered that most communities were not having access to potable water. She said, you go to most communities and you see that they have access to water but not potable water. You see a situation where you see high incidences of waterborne diseases. There are children under the age of 5 years dying from direct diseases. This is not supposed to be in the century and time. We work with the Ministry of Education and Health because this project is for public schools and health center. So we reached out to ministry and they recommended what community to work with, and I must confess that the process has been seamless. This project has been running since 2017, and so far we have been able to provide access to potable water in 1990 communities across Nigeria. This year the project was for 10 communities. We did 4 here in Ondo State, comprising of Okitipa and Irele local government. On our political news, 2023 merit should determine Nigeria's next president, not zoning, says PDP chieftains. A chieftains of the People's Democratic Party and renowned philanthropist Barrister Kenneth Imaso-Agbo has said that merit, intellectual capacity, and exposure are attributes that should determine Nigeria's next president. He said proponents of zoning do not love the country, noting that Nigeria must begin to think of a presidential candidate that can fix the litany of trouble facing the country. In a statement on Thursday, Imaso-Agbo said Nigeria is in an emergency situation that requires an emergency solution. He stated that the best option for the PDP was to jettison zoning and ensure an acceptance candidate emerged as the party's presidential candidate. He insisted that PDP never zoned the presidential ticket to the North in 2019 and also never asked any southern person not to contest. He said the state of the country is chaotic and troubling. We should not be contemplating zoning now. We should be thinking of who can do the job for the Alimajiri, the streets, farmers, secure the national and help the economy to grow. The person who can fix our roads, make our school works, and give value to us as a Nigerian. Who is that Nigerian that will come after President Muhammadu Buhari that will be courageous enough to call a spade its name, heal the pains of countries, and bring the country together? A well-traveled Nigerian that will not have complex when in more sitting than that Nigerian that has done well in the private sectors and served in government. The person who knows what to do from day one. Those calling for zoning do not love Nigeria. Merit, intellectual capacity, and exposure are attributes that should be determined who becomes the next president. He further stated, I feel trouble when people talk about zoning because we are in an emergency time and it demands emergency solution. Look at our hospital. I almost died of malaria because the drug given to me was fake. If we are talking about zoning, it is not the turn of south. If it is PDP, the tickets should go to the north. And Jonathan did 6 years, Obasanjo did 8 years, Yar'Adua did 2 years, and Buhari completing 8 years. These are not times for testing the water. With a northern presidential candidate, we can secure victory and rescue our country. Fairness and equity demand that if the South has done 14 out of 16, the North should be the next in line for the presidency. We are sitting on the precise of strategy like job creation, security, and the economy. We need somebody who has been tested and trusted. To curb agitation, the best way for our party to go is to throw it open and let the best candidate emerge. The candidate that will heal the wounds. We need to put the country together. Nigeria is bigger than the zoning. It is bigger than a political party as well. Still on political news, Bello tasked Kogi APC to sustain party winning streak. The Kogi State chapter of the All Progressive Congress has been inaugurated with the newly elected executive called upon to sustain its winning streak. Performing the swearing-in and the inauguration ceremony at the state secretariat of the party in Lokoja, Governor Yaya Bello described the APC in Nigeria and the state as the party to beat in the forthcoming 2023 general election. Bello, who was represented at the swearing-in ceremony by his deputy chief, Edward Onoja, urged the newly sworn-in executive member to see their election as call to more service and to do more in the sustaining the feats achieved by the party, pointing out that their re-election is justification of the confidence reposed on them. Bello congratulated the newly executive member and urged them to strive towards unity of the party from the state to the polling unit level. He urged them to make unity and oneness the bedrock of their deliberation and focus on unity and oneness to continue to maintain the party's winning streak. The governor described the party as supreme, urging the newly inaugurated executive member not to jump protocol as party hierarchy remain sacrosanct. In open remark, Alhaji Abdullahi Bello assured that APC remains the party to beat, having captured the state in previous election. He appealed to the newly elected executive to live above board. He urged the newly executive member at all levels to carry out all All parties member Abdullahi Bello maintained that for now there is no opposition party in Kogi State. The highlight of the inauguration of newly swearing-in executive member was administered of the oath of office by Barrister Abbas Yunusa. On a business story, NARTO no paying PTD suspend planned industrial action. The petroleum tanker driver branch of the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Worker and the Nigerian Association of Road Transport Owners and on Thursday suspended their plan to embark on industrial action. Both groups had last week threatened to embark on strike over the alleged diversion of the 621 billion naira road fund provided by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited and the failure of government to increase freight rates of transporting petrol. But NNPC announced on Thursday that no paying PTD and NARTO to suspend their planned industrial action after the intervention of the National Oil Company. It said the decision was reached after a critical stakeholder engagement that involved the downstream oil sector regulator, NNPC, NOPEC, PTD, and NARTO in Abuja on Thursday. The communique issued at the end of the meeting stated that NNPC provided updates on the current status of the road construction and rehabilitation projects under the Road Infrastructure Tax Credit Scheme. It assured the stakeholder that the funding earmarks for the 21 critical road will be applied for the intended purpose only. To allay the fear of stakeholders, NNPC and all parties commit to working together in the monitoring of the project. The communique reading part. On the view of freight rates for transporters, it stated that the stakeholders requested for completion of ongoing discussion on the review of freight rates to cover operational costs and highlighted the precarious situation that truck owners face in the light of current economic realities. The downstream regulator informed the meeting that a committee had been constituted to review the rates, which include PTD, NARTO, and NOPEC, in addition to other stakeholders. All parties agreed to work expeditiously towards concluding the review of the freight rates and make recommendations to government, it stated. On our foreign news, U.S. Congress temporarily afford government shutdown. The U.S. Senate passed a stopgap funding bill Thursday after threats by some Republicans early in the week risk a damaging government shutdown. The bill, which passed by 65 votes to 27, will extend federal spending at current level until March 11. Had the bill not passed by Friday at midnight, the federal government would have entered a costly shutdown with hundreds of thousands of government employees for long and all non-essential office closed. The House of Representatives passed the bill, the third such stoppage spending tax in less than 5 months. On February 8, it now goes to President Joe Biden to sign it into law. 19 Republican senators joined Democrats in voting for the bill, putting it above the threshold of a filibuster. Despite some threats from Republicans to hold up the process, a shutdown was highly unlikely. More elected officials on both sides of the aisle signaled that they did not want a shutdown, which will create havoc by sending millions of public workers home without pay. The stopgap funding gives lawmakers some more time to reach a long-term spending package to cover the rest of the fiscal year through September 2030. Rank and file members in both chambers have also warned that if Congress cannot move beyond temporary fixed $56 billion made available last year through the $1.3 trillion infrastructure package, will remain in limbo. Biden, who has been traveling the country touting his infrastructure deal, is eager for a fresh congressional victory as his approval rating crumbles a few months before crucial midterm election. On our sports story, Okoye dilemma of keeper battling double relegation. These are definitely not the best of time for Sparta Rotterdam. Nigerian goalkeeper Maduaka Okoye, the rising shotstopper, had an amazing career progress in 2020 when he joined Dutch Eredivisie side Sparta from the second term of Bundesliga 2 side Fortuna Düsseldorf. On arrival to Rotterdam, Okoye quickly got to business, displacing Dutch team Coleman and Benjamin van Leer to the club's #1 jersey and churning out fine performance week in, week out. He won Spartan Player of the Season award last time for a string of stellar performance, helping his side claim an 8th places finish in the league. The 6 feet 6 inches keeper's consistent display for both clubs and country saw him linked with some of Europe's biggest clubs. English Premier League club Crystal Palace, Southampton and Watford were also interested in the young shortstopper. Eventually, Okoye chose Watford ahead of the others for €6 million late last year, but remained at Spartan on loan till end of the season. Watford with owner Gino Pozzo simply convinced me I will fight for my place and give everything to be #1. I believe in the quality of teams and I pray and hope they stay in Premier League, the 22-year-old said after sealing the deal. The Hornets were also happy to have grabbed the keeper amid interest from other suitors. The club said Watford FC is pleased to announce that it has reached agreement to sign highly rated young keeper Maduaka Okoye on a 5.5-year deal that will begin on January 1st, 2022. Welcome to Watford, Maduaka. And Okoye joined Watford hoping to be a Premier League goalkeeper in 2022-2023, but now he will be about to suffer the agony of seeing both his parent clubs and his loan club relegated in the same season. Sparta sits 17th in the 18th team. Eritreans are missing just 17 points from 22 games. Okoye managed 3 clean sheets in the Dutch top flight, conceding 27 goals in 18 games. It's the same situation in the EPL. Watford 2-0 home defeat to Brighton on Saturday leaves the Hornets just 1 point and 1 place off the bottom. What's more, it's now 16 defeats in their last 20 games. The Hornets are languishing in 19th position with 15 points from 23 games, but bottom place Burnley at 14 points and 2 games outstanding, meaning Watford can replace them at the foot of the table if the Clarets take advantage of their outstanding games. Unless manager Rod Hodgson will replace Claudio Ranieri following a run of poor results, reenact the remark in part he made at Fulham in the 2007-2008 season, guiding and seemingly doomed side clear of relegation. Then Okoye's prayer will go unanswered, and that means he would have been relegated to the Championship without having to let in a goal. And finally, on our entertainment news, Gbajabiamila Baba Iniedo star in political documentary film. Speaker of the House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila, iconic singer Innocent Baba Idibia, and Nollywood actress Iniedo have starred in a short politics-themed documentary film. The movie titled Crossroads was released by the National Democratic Institute and contained in a statement by the Institute communication after Daniel Opayi, who also doubled as movie director. The statement read, Crossroads is a fascinating narrative of stories that are hardly ever told, especially in this part of the world. Stories from female Nigerian lawmakers on their political journey and how their tenure in office continue to meeting Nigerian socio-economic needs. In the film, these female lawmakers spoke about the benefit to be derived from increasing the percentage of women in Nigerian parliament and why the reward is greater than the cost. The stories from Comfort Amwe, the only female member in the Kaduna State House of Assembly despite winning a seat in a previous election and losing it at the tribunal. She never gave up against all odds. She contested in another election, won a tribunal case, and became a member of Kaduna State House of Assembly. Honorable Ijoma started the political journey as a councillor in Enugu State and was recently voted Speaker Enugu South local government legislative arm in a tight race with other men. Senator Abiodun Olujimi currently serves as a senator of the Federal Republic, Nigeria, representing Ekiti South constituency and minority leader of the Nigerian Senate. She is a strong advocate for creating space for more women to occupy elective position. According to the statement, Gbajabiamila reaffirmed his commitment to giving Nigerian women more seats at the National Assembly. Before we go today, here are the news headline once again. On our local news this morning, Ondo traditional ruler beg government for portable water. On our political news, 2023, merit should determine Nigeria's next president, North Zone, says PDP chieftains. Still on political news, Governor Yaya Bello tasked Kogi APC to sustain party winning streak. On our business news, NARTO, Nupeng PTD suspend planned industrial action. On our foreign news, US Congress temporarily afford government shutdown. On our sports headline, Okoye dilemma of keeper battling double relegation. And finally, on our entertainment news, Gbajabiamila Tubaba Iniedo star in political documentary film. Here we're going to be drawing the curtain, and don't forget to follow us on all our social media platforms. Join us on our Facebook page, AYOGEN League, and don't forget to also follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel on AYOGEN TV as well. Follow us on our Instagram page, AYOGEN TV, also on our Twitter page, AYOGEN TV. And from all of us from AYOGEN TV, we say happy weekend.